the Rogue class. It's literally just a clone of the Thrower class, but with a stealth meter. The starter bag is cool, but way too game-breaking. Eidolon Wyrm. Why does everyone love Crabulon so much? I mean, he's not that good. Either the slime god is extremely egotistical, or it's the weakest god ever. It's cool we finally have a brain of Cthulhu for the corruption, but still no luck for the mechanical brain. So I just defeated a giant clam, and this NPC fish guy just popped out of it. What? And same with Cryogen. What's with NPCs hiding inside bosses? When you're casually exploring the desert and Snidrian spawns. We interrupt Terraria Calamity to bring you Undertale. The Wolfram enemies are pretty cool, but they have such wacky AI that they aren't even worth fighting when you can just ignore them. The sulphurous seas always remind you that the seas in the real world are being polluted by acid rain and global warming. Yeah, thanks for the reminder game. I've gotta say, Spasmatism, those purple flames really don't suit you. Is there any reason why the Devour of Gods takes 84,729 million years to kill? Why is Brimstone Elemental a boss but the Cloud Elemental a mini-boss? That make no sense. Okay, this is gonna be a bit nitpicky, but why is half of the lore, oh, I don't know, not written down in the game? Why do I have to read entire chapters externally just to understand what I'm looking at here? This isn't Five Nights at Freddy's, okay? We're playing Terraria. Whoa, Draydon's remote, I wonder what this summons. Ooh, and it's just mech boss fights. Alrighty then. Okay, let's be honest. Plaguebringer Goliath is just Queen Bee, but dashes diagonally. And same with Ravager, it's just Golem but harder. Oh, and Golem learned to jump, and I don't like that. Maybe I'm just a slow reader, but Draydon speaks way too fast that it's near impossible to keep up with what he's saying. You know, I don't think they added enough things for me to avoid. Clearly, it's too easy. Oh, look, a new infection biome. Something else I have to clear out. The first time you mine ores after you defeat a boss in Calamity is really cool. And then you do it again. And again. And again. And again. Oh my god, just make the bars drop from the boss. It's possible to accidentally break 1 or 2 blocks in the sunken sea and drain the entire thing. Like, seriously, be careful. Sorry Stormweaver, but there are only so many ways you can make a worm boss interesting. And same goes for the aquatic Scourge. Sometimes I forget the great sand shark is even a mini-boss, and that makes me sad. Speaking of forgettable mini-bosses, I didn't even know the Armored Digger existed until one day I accidentally ran into him while running a mob grinder. Good lord, the frame rate! And that's not the only fight that drops in quality immediately. Sometimes it lags, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know about you, but I think it would have been cool if the Plaguebringer Goliath could actually launch a nuke. Instead of fighting more cool original bosses after defeating Providence for Bloodstone, you just go against stronger versions of Brimstone Elemental, Ravager, and Calamitous. And speaking of Calamitous, why on earth would you fight her for Bloodstone when Ravager and Brimstone Elemental can be fought during the day and night? It feels like cheating to start and stop the rain with a single push of a button. Of course the second to last boss has a worm in it. Such originality. Apparently the Devourer of Gods finds humans delicious. Ugh. Okay, so apparently in the Calamity mod lore, the Desert Scourge was once a thriving ocean worm that dried up when Calamitous drained the sea. But my question is, why doesn't the Desert Scourge just swim down to the sunken sea? It's literally below the desert. After the crazy battles with Devourer of Gods, Draydon and his ultimate machines, Supreme Calamitous herself, and finally, the entirety of Boss Rush, which you probably just cheated for at this point, because let's be honest, we're probably tired of fighting the same 10 worm bosses over and over, destroying yourself both mentally and physically in the process, and acquiring 8 different strains of fatal illnesses. What could you get? After all that, what could your reward possibly be? A rock. Yes, a rock that you can sell. For 1 copper. Back to Tremor Mod. Anyway, all jokes aside, Terraria Calamity, should you play it? Abso-freaking-lutely. It's kind of like its own game, honestly, and I think that's really cool. It makes Terraria way more interesting and adds a sense of uncertainty to it. Well, except with the worm bosses, but hey, not everyone can be winners.